Hey, what's up, guys? It is DJ. Today we're going to take our first look at the Farm Production Pack for Farm Sim 22, which is available on all platforms starting on Tuesday, April 30th, 2024. We're going to be taking a look at all the new production chains, sell points, generators, and even a handful of sheds. It is very important to remember that this is a third-party DLC made by DMI, aka Dutch Mining Inc., or Design Modeling and Innovation, whenever they decide to change their name officially. And to be fair, I may want to change my name as well after passing this off as a paid DLC. I gotta be honest with you guys, it just is what it is. Giant Software did not make this DLC, however, they did publish it, and as the title says, there are a few things that do not work quite right, or are just completely broken. We're going to take a look at those. Let's start off with something that is very neat, but it is definitely not going to work the way you thought it did. This is the distribution center. This can be found in selling points, and you can see right here, we've got a button that says no pallets to deliver. We say, okay. We've got these markers on the outside as well as on the area here to the left. So we have places to back in semi-trucks, for example, or we have just kind of open area here where we can pull up if we've only got maybe a few pallets. Going in, all the doors do open, and we have a lot of pallets inside. Unfortunately, this is not a pallet storage warehouse. This is just a sell point. That is it. We also have a few spots here on the very end where we have the real sell point. This is where if you just want to sell something, let's say bread, for example. Well, we would simply bring this over here to the spot on the very edge and sell the bread, and we'll get an okay amount of money for it. $5,489, at least in here, time set to 0, so nothing should change. If we're around towards the front, for example, around towards here, whether it be in this spot or the one to the right of us, the larger one, both of them are the same, by the way, so that makes things a little bit easier. Let's go down here, because a lot of people are probably going to bring all their pallets here. Well, now let's get the same pallet, and we've got our pallet of bread right there. Let's go over here, because nothing is going to happen until we select this. Do you want to deliver pallets to the assigned places? And we say yes, because, well, there's no other choice. Come up into here, open this up, and run in here. The other thing that I'm a little irritated about, I think, would be is the false advertising on the part of these screenshots. They showed off the Manitou, and this is what we get right here, because the Manitou could not fit in between here. Once we're inside, we need to find where our point is. You can see all the pallets, or pallet stacks, I guess, look exactly the way they would, with the exception of this one. Looks like it's going to be on this side over here, so that is where we need to stack this pallet. However, if we turn on our help window, we can see at the top, we've got 1 minute and 18 seconds left to deliver one pallet. You get 2 minutes for each pallet, so let's see if we can run out here real quick and grab this thing. I will say this, if you're a really good pallet driver, you may not have any trouble with this. I have had a few issues here and there getting things to actually go into the pallet stacked areas, but let's put it there, back away, and bam! Now we get 5,519, so we get a little bit more, like 1%, if that, maybe 0.5% more for that. Let's say, for example, we didn't get that delivered on time. Well, we'll still get the same amount of money. However, when you start those missions, it does give you, 2 minutes per pallet? So let's say you brought like 1,000 pallets over here. It's going to be 2,000 minutes that it gives you to do that. And ain't nobody got time for that. And it's going to take that whole time in game before it sells it. So if you got that many pallets, bring them over here. If you've got like 5 or 4 and you want to have fun doing that, go for it. This is basically where you would not even store, because with our pallets gone. This is just a sell point at the end of the day. It's a really big sell point. It's neat the way it's done, don't get me wrong. But it's a lot. The good thing is, if you want a distribution center with auto loading and stuff like that, well, we already have one, so just use that. And it's a free mod, so you don't have to pay for it. Speaking of sell points, we have quite a few different ones through here. Each one, you can do things a little bit different. So first one is going to be the Baker Market stall. If we jump in, go into our productions and our sell points, we can find out that here we can sell most of our production chains and things like cakes and chocolate and bread, stuff like that. Moving on, we've got a couple other ones as well. We have the vegetable stall and the dairy market stall. This one's the dairy, and that's the vegetable. If if it wasn't obvious. In these, if we jump back in, we've got our vegetables. Of course, we're going to be selling all our vegetables. You can see there's a couple things that have water on them. Those are washed items. However, that doesn't work. So, yeah, that is what it is. Then we have the dairy market stall, which is really just a dairy at the end of the day. Then we have a couple other ones that are kind of interesting. We have the small vending machine, we have the big vending machine, and we have the multi vending machine. We do have a door here, so we can open it up and check that out, which is pretty cool. And then we've got our sell points, which are all around, so we can sell things to these. Yeah, it's a vending machine for the people. I've never seen vending machines that look like this, but this is a Dutch company, not an American company, so that is what it is. However, they are still in selling points. If we jump in and take a look, small vending machines, just going to be a couple of different production chains. If we jump over to big vending machine, well, that's going to do some of the other stuff like lettuce and our washed things that physically can't be washed. And then we have another one here, the multi-vending machine. This takes things like milk, bread, potatoes, straight up potatoes. That's going to be more of like a fresh vending machine. Then we have another selling point. This is the Fresh Farmers Supermarket selling point. You can't go in or anything like that. And if we go all the way around, we can see we've got our sell point in the back. Heads up, this does kind of go underground just a little bit, so be careful how close you get it to certain things. And again, no doors open here either. Mostly productions here, so we jump back in, check our selling points. Click on this guy right here. You can see at the bottom right-hand corner that we tab through just different productions. Now, the one that's very different is this guy. This is the farmer's market, and here you could buy certain things, and this is not a selling point. This is a place where you purchase items. If we go around towards the back side of the building, this is where we would buy those things. If you've got something that needs to have its cover opened, you will have to open that cover before it'll let you do anything. Now, there's really not a lot you could buy here. Seeds, solid fertilizer, lime, and road salt, and that is it. Quite a big building, in fact, to be able to have something like that. And if we jump into our selling points, take a look at it. $95,000. Definitely not the most price-conscious thing to make. But one thing that is price-conscious and a great thing to have is, well, not this building. It's today's video sponsor, GPORTAL. They host premium game servers for Farming Simulator 22, no matter what platform you play on, even on consoles. You can get one of these. I've been working with GPORTAL as a partner for close to 2 years now. Actually, it may be past 2 years at this point, and they've hosted all of my personal and public servers during that time. One of the great things about the servers is they're always running, so you and your friends can jump on at any time, play on the same farms, and you don't have to be on all at the same time. And there's different options to choose from, all the way from 4 players to 16 and everything in between. You can even create your own. In their configurator, you can select all of the different players that you want. You can get an extra 25 gigabytes mod space, which is definitely a must if you're using any mods. And if you don't want to keep it forever, or maybe you do want to keep it forever, you can get it for 3 days, so play on Friday, Saturday, Sunday with your boys, or get it for a full year and get a great discount on it. Speaking of discounts, hey, if you use my link, you'll get an extra 10% off all game servers, and you'll be able to support me directly. Once you got everything set up, there's 9 different places to choose from. Just choose the one that's either closest to you or maybe a middle-way point between you and your buddies. When I said they're affordable, they really are. Here's a 4-player server with extra mod space for 3 days for $3.18, and you can renew that every 3 days if you want. Big shout out to them for sponsoring today's video. Now back to it. And we actually have something that's pretty cool. I gotta give it to it. This is the Big Vehicle Workshop. Now through here we've got a couple different places. Door here, we go in and we are presented with this little icon. Click that, we get nothing because of course nothing is in our vehicle workshop yet. This is a big old workshop, but this was actually one of the screenshots. It's kind of taken from like right here-ish. So big area over here on the left-hand side. We've got doors here. Bam, bam, bam. We'll open those up. They do open up really quickly, and boom, boom, boom around here as well. So you've got complete drive-through of this. Now, this is kind of handy because if you've got like a semi-truck or something like that, you can just drive it straight through. And yes, semi-trucks and trailers will fit in here, at least, well, you can fit this one. Maybe not something with a really big top on it. At the end of the day, this is just somewhere where you can work on your vehicle, so it's not a storage thing or anything like that, though. It is your game and you can do whatever you want. Next, we got a few generators, power generators. We'll start with the wind turbine because this is probably the easiest out of the bunch. If we go in, we go to productions, we go to generators, we'll find it right here, $75,000, and it is pretty straightforward, $6,840 per month. Or if you're playing one day season months, well, I'll just give you that every day. This is the interesting one though. We have the extendable solar panels as well as our little robot. Look at this thing. Yeah, I mean, I thought this was going to be much cooler than it actually is. So there is that. This is the solar panel washing robot. They say that you need to make sure that your solar panels are washed in order to get the most amount of money from them. However, each set of 3 gives me $75 per hour in-game, no matter what I do. So the more you have, the better it will be. There are a few discrepancies, and I do want to talk about those. So we jump into productions, we go to our generators right here. It's showing $1,450. All right. Well, if we put one of these down, then it says $4,813, which, if you know anything about math, is actually more than 3 times what it would be if each little mini panel was actually $1,450. They're lying. It's just wrong. It's completely wrong, no matter what. And I don't know what to change. If we go up to here, there's only one thing we could do. Let it run. We push the button, and it will start, and it'll clean everything for you. But yeah, as far as I can tell, we don't actually need this. It says that you need this in order to keep things clean, but I don't think you do. Right here, we have the solar panel washing robot, so that's fine. And then we jump into productions, generators. We click on these guys. At the bottom right-hand corner, it says produces power, which is automatically sold during humanity, but keep in mind, these panels have to be washed regularly to guarantee income. I fast-forwarded 10 years, and it gave me $75 per panel, no matter what I did. And I didn't use a robot, so yeah. That is what it is. It's also super duper slow. You can only run 1 per little setup here. For example, the farthest out I could get was about where these tire tracks are. So let's try and put down a couple more. Let's see. Let's run some generators over here maybe. There we go. And then go into tools, grab this little guy, and place it there. So then that should have worked. Yeah. Even though I don't know if it shows up or not. Definitely doesn't show up. But at least we can run a few of these at a time without having to worry too much. So there's that. I can see the other one's running fine as well. However, if we go into build mode, it goes back into its little home. And speaking of going back into its little home, if I put it back in its little home, it is stuck into the ground in its little home. So I'm sure this is one of the many updates that are going to have to be done for the next setup. I also spoke with Tony Myth, who's over on Twitch. I had a conversation with him, and well, he said he can't get his solar panels dirty. And I'll be honest with you, neither can I. So, yep, it is what it is. We know we can, or at least should be able to, but I think it's going to take 10 or 20 years in order to make this happen. Yeah. It is what it is. I think maybe they forgot to do the dirt. Also, this screenshot must have been taken so fast because the bot only goes up and down like that for like a split second. At least they're easy to delete, so there's that. I hate being negative about some things, but unfortunately, sometimes things are just the way they are. Now let's talk about production changes that come with this. We've got a couple different productions. We actually have 3, but one of them is not shown because, well, I don't have an animal pen out yet. The first one right here is the Cleaner Tiger. This is on a production site, and it's actually not a production at all. All it does is turn it on and off. That's about it. And I'm actually not sure about the naming scheme of it. So the Cleaner Tiger takes in sugar beets. It expels cut sugar beets into a pile. You can't put a trailer under it. See this logo? That's a trailer. I'm not sure if Dutch Modding knows or not, but normally you can put trailers under trailer markers. They don't allow you to do that. And stones drop under, so you actually have to find a bucket which will fit under this in order to make it happen. And no, you can't put a trailer under there either. It's too big. So let's see some magic happen. I've got a telehandler, we've got a bucket, and we've got some sugar beets. So we'll bring it up here and dump and fill it up. Cool beans. Then we back away slowly and turn it on. There we go. You can see the animation of the stones falling there and the animation of the cut sugar beets falling there. Now you will have to make time go forward a little bit. There we go. Time is going forward just a wee little bit. Let's see if we can empty this thing out. There we go. Got it all emptied out. Took 15 minutes in game. in order to make that completely go. So now we have a pile of cut sugar beets. Actually, we lost a liter, so 3,999. And then we've got 59 liters of stones underneath. This is just a way to cut sugar beets. It is a very inefficient way to cut sugar beets. There's a lot of other ways. It's very realistic, so I guess there's that. Now we get to the piece of equipment that just doesn't work. Physically, it just does not work. This is the lizard washing drum. Now, I have heard from Giants that they're going to do their best to get out a patch for release day, so whenever you guys jump in to try this on the day it's released, it should work. However, for preview copies, it don't work. And everyone seemed surprised when we told them. So this is a little bit different. So let's go in production chains. We've got our factory set up and we select this. We can see we've got potatoes, sugar beets, and water, and out goes potatoes and sugar beets that have been washed. But that's not all. We also get a few other things like carrots, red beets, and parsnips, and we can make washed carrots, red beets, and parsnips, and they'll give us a little bit more money than regular ones do. So let's go in. This one specifically, we're trying to do potatoes, so we're going to go ahead and turn on the potato mixer there. If we pop our head up a little bit, there's nothing in there. Cool beans. We need potatoes and we need water if we're going to be doing this to make our washed potatoes. So here's our potatoes. Let's go ahead and grab these guys. Bring it up and go dump them in. Oh, a little bit too fast. Come on, DJ. Don't get that excited. It's just potatoes at the end of the day. So there's our potatoes. Action cannot be performed, which means we've got too many potatoes. Then let's jump over here to our Aquatrans, the water. We'll start this up, back it up, and put some water in there. No more capacity for water. Okay. Well, that seems very interesting, seeing the fact that there's no water in it. Now, I have a mod that allows me to buy these production inputs. Buy 0 liters of water for $0. Yeah. So it doesn't work. So I put down a second one. Maybe this time it'll work. What if we put the water in first? Back it up. Ooh, start overloading water. Hey! That works. So then surely now we can put potatoes in here since the water worked. Action cannot be performed here. Okay. Turn it on. So as you can see, one of them we're able to put water in. The other one we could put potatoes in, but we cannot put more than one crop in at a time. Same goes for sugar beets, carrots, red beets, parsnips. No matter what you do, it just doesn't work. So I wish I could show you more, but I physically can't. So we move on. The third production chain is actually quite cool. This is the Lely Sphere. And what this does is it takes things like your animal stuff and prepares that with sulfuric acid, changes it into liquid fertilizer. Now, this is kind of neat, and I've heard from Argsy Gaming that this works with everything. And I want to thank FSG for telling me that Argsy said that. So if it's wrong, blame them, not me. Here you can see we've got 500 liters of sulfuric acid in, and then we've got 30,000 liters of liquid fertilizer out. What this does, you just put it beside your animal pen because it won't let you put it anywhere else. So we jump into our production chains real quick. You see we have Lely Sphere. There's already manure handling here, and we pull it too far away, place it next to husbandry. So for example, if we know that all the way over here is safe, well then let's take chickens. This one, that'll work. Ooh, let's not do that. Bam! Right there. Then jump back over to our productions and grab another one. Can we place it? Yes, we can. I know it says overlaps, but we put it about right there. Bam! Got it. Now it's beside chickens. So they don't actually have to have byproducts. It's taking an invisible byproduct. Speaking of byproducts, let's open this up and let's get some of those byproducts. So what you will need to do is go into your mods and DLCs, go to Farm Production Pack, and it's the only thing that's in the store, the sulfuric acid. We can fit 2 of them in our little container here, so we will do that. And also, they are not liftable, but I have the heavy lift mod turned on, so I could do it. So I'm going to do it because I'm not going to take the time to do this. Also, if you put these in there like this, there is a good chance you're probably going to have to tussle them around a little bit after you get them in, or at least after everything is done. So we've got that. Let's turn on. Oh, we have 2 Lely Spheres. That's the one we need right there. We turn it on, and then we fast forward some time, And over time, it's going to make some productions. If you've got 1,000 cows, it will empty out pretty fast. But you can see here it's not too bad, which makes things nice and easy. Now, it also kind of comes at a cost, but you're not losing anything from your animals. So if you have manure, if you have slurry, all of that's still going to stay at your animals. It's not going away from here. And whenever you're ready for it, bring your sprayer or whatever over here and pick it up. You're good to go. As I mentioned, there is a trade-off, though, and I feel like it's important because this may not work for everyone. For example, the Lely Sphere is $80,000. 80,000.00. It's expensive. Pair that with the price of your animal pen, which could be $100,000 or more. Pair that with the animal prices themselves, which could be hundreds of thousands of dollars, all to get liquid fertilizer. So don't do this in order to make liquid fertilizer unless you already have animals, in which case, well, it may be beneficial to you. Show you a little bit of a thing here. So $800 for 2,000 liters of sulfuric acid. You're gonna need, I think, about 2 of these ish to get up to one of the others. So that's, say, $1,600. Well, now let's go to our pallets. Here we go. And liquid fertilizer. It is $3,200 for 2,000 liters. So we're paying about half, almost exactly half. So you're going to save money over time, but you're spending a lot more up front. Or if you're like me and you cheated, it doesn't matter. This is a very, very cool way. If you've got every animal pen, put one of these at every animal pen. Yeah, it's going to cost you a bunch of money, but over time, it will be cheaper. Just how cheap for you is, well, how cheap? I don't know. Lastly, we got some sheds, and I don't want to say it any other way. There's 7 sheds in this pack that, yeah, you're having to pay real money for the sheds. So let's talk about the sheds. First up, we have a shed. You see here, it kind of goes down a little bit around the inside, and man, I wish I could tell you it was more than that, but there's not. Next is this one. It's an outdoor shed with open doors, with no doors, as a matter of fact. Then we have this one, a little bit different. We got a couple bays on the right-hand side. These are pretty cool. If we turn on our help window, these are not silo areas, so nothing like that. We come over here, we can open this door, bam, run inside, and, well, it's just this interior right here. And we can turn the lights on. Oddly enough, some lights are controlled one way and then some are controlled another way. For example, these lights are controlled like this, but in the shop you can turn them on just about however you like. So there is that. And then we have this big old shed right here. If we come around towards the side, we've got these doors right here. So we'll come around, open those. It is one push open. It's going to open real slow to the left and then off to the right. This is really for putting like crops and stuff like that in, so you'll be fine through there. Taking a look at this, not quite sure how that snuck through the floor, but it is what it is. Also, there's no other real doors in here, and I tried this door earlier, but couldn't get it to open. So that door also doesn't exist on the outside. How do you miss that? Oh, well. And then, let me out. And then we've got our final shed right here. Also, when you place these down, some of them face forwards, then you pick the next one, and it's facing around towards the back again. It can get a little bit irritating. This is a large shed, and we got to have some lights somewhere. Let's turn those on so we can see. Please? Okay, maybe not. We've got a full bunker there, and then we've got the full open area through here. Maybe that switch will work? Yeah, there we go. We got a little bit of light. So, not too bad. And then we've got another opening right here, which leads to the outside. We got one in the middle, too? Looks like we got one in the middle, too. Yeah, so that's a pretty big shed on the inside. And then we've got a couple silos. Now, these are not silos in the normal sense. These are the auto-loading stuff. So, this is where you store bales, pallets, stuff like that. Take a look at the first one. This has 250 count storage. That's going to be for your bale storage. And then we come around towards here, which is very similar to one of the other sheds that we have, but different on the inside. And this is going to hold 250 of your pallets. So that is pretty cool. Open this up. We still have another whole area here, similar to a workshop, but it's not actually a workshop. So that's kind of neat. Also heads up, the lights turn on with the left stick if you're using a controller, not the B or circle button like basically everything else. A lot of buildings are moving over to the left stick. I believe Mapper's Paradise started that trend back in Farming Simulator 19, and there's a couple people that have gone with it, but I don't like it. It's personal preference. At the end of the day, it works fine. And that is it. That is it for this Productions pack. The Farm Productions pack from DMI, Dutch Mining Group, Digital Modeling and Innovation, whatever you want to call them. It's going to be out again on Tuesday, April 30th, 2024 for all platforms. If you guys want to pick it up, I do have a link down below. It's going to be $7.99 USD, not included with any season pass or anything like that. It is certainly one of those DLCs that you look at and go, wait, I have to pay for this? Just being honest. And the fact that some things were broken when it got past Giant Software and got to content creators to do videos on, frankly, is inexcusable. I was a little bit upset that things are broken when we get this to show you guys. So I have to be honest with you. I serve you guys, not Giant Software at the end of the day. The viewers are the people that matter. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this one. Drop a like, get subscribed if you do. Join the GoHam fam. Double check out notification bell. That way you never miss daily Farming Simulator videos here on the channel. Big shout out to GPORTAL. They are the strong hand, man. They are the guiding light at the end of the tunnel for sure. So big shout out to GPORTAL. You guys rock. You rock. Watch this video, and we'll see you later.